So, this game came up in my recommendations a while ago, and what caught my eye about it is the fact that all the money that they make off of this game gets donated to the Humane Society. And they have a bunch of different, information about the Humane Society, and they have different, cats and things that have been helped through this. So it's a really nice, sweet way to do something good. So that's what drew me to it, and I immediately got it. The base game's free, and then the DLC is, it's not expensive at all. We do have both, but we're gonna start with the base game, just because we, have not actually played it yet. So, we're gonna experience it together. Okay, there we go. We can scroll in. So, the goal of the game is we're gonna find all of the kitties. Just something really cute and fun and laid back to do. And you can zoom as much as you want. You can be zoomed out. Now, something some people may not know is that I actually run a local cat colony. So, what that means is that the stray and feral cats in my neighborhood, they need somebody who's going to, care for them, make sure they have food, make sure they have shelter when it's cold or hot. If something's wrong, maybe try to trap them and get them medical help, as well as trapping and fixing them. And that is one of the things that I do. We have quite a few colony cats right now. 2 of them are kind of permanent mainstays, and they actually come inside the house. And then the others are a little more shy, and they don't always show up, but they make guest appearances, which we're always happy for. Oh! Find 30 cats in the daytime. We've already got an achievement. But yeah, I have always loved cats. I, have grown up my whole life, basically, with a cat. I am actually very, very allergic to them. But I adore them, and I put up with the allergies. Despite all of that. Look at all these cat statues. So cute. There's so many in this little area. No, it's funny because I think the 2 colony cats that we have that come indoors, Aya has been with me for 17 years now. She is the oldest of the cats, and she is one that I was in high school, and I had a friend, and that friend called me and said that her mom was calling the animal shelter because the kitten that they had acquired was 6 months old, very, very feral, bit and clawed and destroyed the house, and her mom didn't want to deal with it anymore. So she was calling the animal shelter, and they were going to come pick her up. At this point, I was working with an animal activist group in the neighborhood, and so my friend was like, please, do you have resources? Do you know something? Can you help? And so I, of course, tossed on my shoes and walked 3 miles because, I'm in high school. I don't have a car. And our town is small enough we didn't have a bus route or anything. Or at least not one that I was aware of. But I walked the 3 miles to her house, and sure enough, I show up and I ask, I'm like, okay, where's the cat? And I'm told the cat's hiding. She fled into the basement, and we go down there, we're looking around. Finally, we find her, and she is in the insulation of the basement ceiling. And I am told, don't bother. You're not going to be able to get her down. Animal control is on their way and they'll handle it. And I am worried at this point because I know our shelter is full. There was no space for other cats. So, worst case scenario, they put her down. Best case scenario, they would tag her and relocate her to a colony. But, she's little. I didn't want that to happen to her. And after I'd heard her story, I was like, yeah, there's no way. I'm just going to let this cat have 0 chance. And so I climb up into the insulation and I pull this cat out. And at this point, my friend's mom is shocked that I was even able to get the cat down. But then she's like, okay, well, cool, you've got her down. She's hissing and spitting and clearly ready to bite you. There's no way you're going to get her into a cat carrier. No way. And it's one of those carriers that, has a front opening door. And that's about it. So, obviously, trying to shove a cat into a tiny little hole like that isn't gonna be easy. So, I tried it, and she freaked out, which is to be expected. And I went, okay, new plan. And I unscrewed the top of the lid of the carrier. And I said, I'm gonna put her down, and then you're going to put the lid down on top. And we did that, put her down, and closed the lid, and it worked. Awesome, great. And they're like, okay, so what are you doing with her from here? And I'd already made up my mind. I took her home. We started walking the 3 miles back, and I stopped outside the local grocery store, and my friend stood out there with her while I went inside and I bought a temporary litter box. I bought litter, I bought food bowls, and then we came back out with all that, and we went on our way home. And when we got there, I lived in a roommate situation in a house. I was not supposed to or allowed to have a cat. But, that was not going to stop me. We smuggled her in like contraband. And I closed the door to my room, and I opened the door to the crate. She didn't exit the crate for a long time, and I mean like a long time. When she finally did exit, it was to run directly underneath the bed. And that is how the next 6 months of our relationship went. I would go to school, I would go to work, and on kitty cam, she would slink out, look out the window, lay on the bed, sniff the closet, cat things. And then, the minute I got home, and I turned the knob of that bedroom door, she was under the bed like clockwork. It wasn't until she was a year old that she finally let me pet her. I came home from school. It had been a really bad day, and she was sleeping on the bed next to the window. I opened the door, and it startled her awake. But for some reason, she decided that she was more comfortable on the bed than darting for safety. And so she just sit there and she watched me as I, slowly as possible, dropped all of my stuff. And I sat on the edge of the bed. And I'm sitting here, my heart's beating real fast. I'm like, one wrong move and she is gonna flee. I know that that's what's gonna happen. And so I'm like, I can't mess up. I can't breathe wrong. I can't twitch wrong. I so much as look at her wrong, and it's game over. But she eventually made her way over to me and just started to sniff. And then she booped her head to my hand. And that was it. We were best friends from then on out. She did not like anybody else. That much was made very clear, as she would very often beat the crap out of Neo, one of the people that I stream with, because he lived with me, and she would just beat the crap out of him. He would, say something snarky, he's getting beat. He would walk too close to her, he was getting beat. Other people would come over and she would run and hide. She wanted nothing to do with them. Oh. I found a meme cat. Look at that. Yeah, she wanted nothing to do with other humans. It was just me. I was her person. She picked me, and no one else in the world mattered. As she got older, she's gotten a lot more tame. So she tolerates other people. I think the biggest betrayal, though, is she met Greg 8 years ago. And ever since she met Greg, I'm no longer her person. I was just filling the spot for him. And now that he's a part of her life, that is all she wants. she still loves me. She still lets me snuggle and hold her and tolerates when I have to do the hard things, like giving her a bath or clipping her nails. But Greg is the one that she goes to for love and snuggles. And that's okay. The other colony cat that actually comes inside is one of our black cats. And we met her 8 years ago. Because when we moved into this house, she was abandoned here. The person who had lived here before us had been caring for the colony cats and feeding them. And when they left, they didn't, find someone to replace them. They didn't care for them. Nothing. So I don't know how long this cat had gone without, getting, food, Yes, obviously she's feral. She could catch food out and about. But when you get used to and rely on a constant food source, like she did, and that makes it difficult, And so when we showed up on the scene, she was so skittish that the minute she saw us, pull onto the street and turn into the driveway, she was gone. She was bolting for the woods as fast as she could. She wanted nothing to do with anybody. But yeah, so it took Greg sitting out on the porch, just tossing her treats, and just sitting there with her. And he did this for months, and I mean months. He would just go out every day after work, and he would sit until finally she got comfortable enough that she would come up to him and she would let him, give her little pets or feed her from his hand. And then hello, Matt. We're telling kitty stories. Yeah, he'd feed her from the hand, give her little scritches. Then we had a really bad winter. Because as it is gone here, we are getting really, really, really hot summers and breathtakingly cold winters. Unhealthily cold winters. And this is one, it was, negative 35 Celsius here with the wind chill. It was cold. Pipes were, bursting, but they were bursting and then instantly freezing over. We had freeze warnings to the point that we were told, do not leave your house if you can help it. A lot of places were closing down, schools were shut down, just not a good situation. And this poor little kitty had nowhere to go. And she had just recently gotten into a fight with another cat that was wandering the neighborhood. So she's hurt, it's cold, she has nowhere, and so we made the tough call and we're like, we need to try to take her in, if only until the chill breaks. And getting her inside was a struggle. Because even though she was injured, and even though it was cold, and she very clearly wanted to be warm, she was terrified. And I mean terrified. When we got her into the house, for probably a good 4 or 5 hours, all she did was run around and scream. And I looked at Greg and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if she is cut out for this. And he was like, but I don't want to let her outside. And I'm like, I know, neither do I. So we're gonna have to suck it up and suffer a little bit. And slowly but surely, she did come around. Now, 8 years later, Greg is her best friend in the whole world. She will clarion call, screech at the top of her lungs when she sees him, and she will come running from wherever she is just to get love. And when she comes inside, all she wants to do is lay on a blankie in his lap. It is honestly adorable, and I am so proud of her for being so scared, but coming so far. Yeah, so that is Aya and Lou. Those are the two of the colony cats that come in and out of the house. The others do not come in and out. They are a lot more free roaming than Aya and Lou, who kind of like to just stick to our small area. They don't really leave the neighborhood. Whereas Mama Cat and Busy and Oliver and them, they all travel a little bit more. I think Mama Cat is the one who travels the most. And we call her Mama Cat because she is actually Lou's mom. And she is the mom of Busy. And I'm sure she's the mom of some others. But, she is fixed now. So she is now no longer the mom of new cats. But, she gets around. We've seen her across the boulevard before, and she's also kind of a bully. So when she shows up here, usually she'll show up during spring and early summer is when she makes her way this way. But yeah, she'll show up, and we have to keep an eye on her to make sure she doesn't start trouble with the others. 'Cause she just likes to fight. And then Busy, he's super sweet. He's very timid, but he lets you pet him. He's only actually accepted food from me once. Thank you for the pets. Oh my goodness, I love it. Yeah, he's only shown, taken food from me once. Any other time he shows up, it is usually he's gotten himself into a fight, and he's looking for somebody to be sweet to him and take care of him. And so we take care of him, we get him patched up, and, give him love, and then he decides that he wants to go back out and do his thing. Which, that's okay. I think one of the things that people don't realize about cats is they go, oh, well, why don't you just trap them and rehome them and, this and that and the other thing. We can do these water thingies. I didn't know that. Yeah, why don't you trap them and get them homes? And it's not that easy all the time, right? Because with these cats, a lot of them are feral, and this is their home. They were born here, they, don't want to interact with humans outside of what's necessary, and if you try to rehome them, they usually do not rehome well, because it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time, and they don't like being locked up and restrained. And you have to make that judgment call of, is this a cat that would do well in a house with others and with humans, or is this a cat that you just need to look out for it and keep it safe and let it do its thing? And that is what we do, is we figure out, okay, is this cat homeable, or is this cat better left to its own devices and just given care? You go battle cats. Yeah. We got some ruffians in the group. Alright, how many more of these water bowls do we have? I was at 50% a little bit ago. Yeah, I figured just a nice little cozy game to end out our week. I did miss streaming on Wednesday, but for anyone in the Discord who knows, Wednesday was Greg's birthday. So we ended up hanging out and spending time together for his birthday. We did puzzles, we had pizza, we had cheesecake. We just enjoyed each other's company. And sometimes it's, it's the little things that matter. I don't know why the chat box isn't working. I'm not sure, because I also cannot log into Discord. I tried logging into Discord, and it gave me a, API error. So, I'm wondering if it's the same happening with the chat box, because that wasn't loading up the way it should. And I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, I don't know, Matt. It's a mystery, it is. Really, it is. But I can still see chat here, so we're chilling. We're just gonna let it do what it do, if that makes sense. Alright, there we go. 2 more things to water down. Yeah. Now, Greg is, currently off to work. They have a game tonight. So, he is doing the baseball stuff. Air hugs will have to do. Yeah. Alright, we're looking for more water tins. I don't know if there's anything else I should be, like, clicking. You know? Because I do notice some repeatable things, but... Yeah, okay, so clean water. There's just a sandwich up there. Jeez. Yeah, pet the cats, get them water. That is our goal. A wild sandwich has appeared. Yeah, I had one person once ask why we name the neighborhood cats, you know, even though they're not ours, and some of them, you know, like Mama Cat, aren't friendly. But it's just, it's easier, right? To name them and be able to refer to them, you know, as so-and-so. And also, it's like, when you name something, you grow more attached to it. I love how there's just a cat in a bucket. I haven't seen any cats in boxes yet, and I really want a box cat to appear. Oh, look, there's a box cat. I did see a box cat. Because you know what they say, if I fits, I fits. Later in the Discord, I'll have to share my favorite picture of Aya in a box. Because she is adorable. Okay. Water there. Guess I have to check the roofs a little more carefully. I keep falling into the trap that I am moving my screen in the same way that the world is angled, instead of going up and down. See, it would have made sense for there to be water here, because this is a flat roof. And there isn't any water near here. I know, right? Like when they said stray cats in Cozy Town, they meant it. It is just such a vibe. And also I feel like this game gives me just like more of an opportunity to actually just chat. Because I'm not focusing so much on like story or game mechanics. It is literally just scroll around the map, look for hidden objects. Yeah. I was very sad you weren't here today, but I'm happy you're getting out and about. Because you definitely need to. Okay, I have 5 cats and 1 water left. Wow, okay. Also, this is the first time I'm noticing the little thingy up here. So, don't mind me, because I didn't know this existed. Until just now. I wonder where all those other cats are, though. Okay, found 1. So that's 4 more we have to find. Yeah, you're in the house as much as I am. Maybe a little less than me. 'Cause I never leave my house. But, I tell people, do as I say, not as I do. I'm in my house all the time because I have agoraphobia. That's, that's where that goes. Okay. We're still looking for 1 more water and 4 more kitties. I feel like this kitties really like trees. And some of them are so tiny. See, like, look at this little guy. He's tiny. He's cute, but he's tiny. It's the, no thoughts, only vibes. So small. Don't even know ABCs, kinda. Situation. Oh, thank you, Matt. I will definitely take a stretch and hydrate. I'm sorry, so you have to hear my bones pop in the process. Today's been one of those days that my body has been like really stiff because we had a storm go through last night, and I always get kind of stiff. how there's just this little kitty hanging out here. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're gonna max zoom. We're getting into the nitty gritty now. This cat's pooping. We need to give him some privacy. I also just love the art in this. Is very cute. Look at him! Look at him! That's the face of, oh. How am I getting down? Yeah, the art's nice. The music's great. It's just a whole vibe. Love how we have Tool Belt Kitty. Okay, we're just gonna scroll through here nice and slow. Nice and slow, and we'll be on the lookout. The chubby cat. Yeah, I figure I'd take a break from doing D&D stuff, because I've been going at that like a crack addict. Just creating monsters and maps and encounters and different things for my players for the D&D session that we're doing. Yeah, take a break from that, do something nice and calm, especially considering this weekend is going to be filled with war in PW. I feel like we have to be missing cats or water in like this area, because this area feels very empty. See, like it feels so empty. Besides these waters I've found. Yeah, I don't see any kitties here. And there's no kitty inside this car. You're looking forward to TW? I know you're attending Saturday with us. No kitties walking along the outside of the fence. Right. I am really wanting that too. Thank you for the pets. Pets are love. Pets are life. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna do... Oh, I found the last water. Master of hydration. Fill 100% of the water bowls. Hey. I'll take it. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna do this like up close scour. And then we will maybe look into using this little hint button. Because we're so close. It's a Santa! He's a Santa cat. Didn't even realize. Hey, look at that. We got 3 more. 3 more little kitties. Little cuties. But no, it's funny talking about, cat stuff today, and that I had this scheduled for today because I had an interview with the Cat Lady Cafe here in town. Cat Lady Cafe it's like a little coffee shop where they do like a bunch of different events for different things. Like they have paint nights, they have crafting nights, they have get-togethers for different things for people. But the bigger thing is that they take cats out of like shelters and they have like cat room where you go, you have coffee and cakes and things with cats for an hour, and you can just spend as much time as you want, you know, loving on them and giving them affection and attention. And they do this as a way to like promote adoption and help find those cats homes. And I think that's really sweet. And I would love to, you know, see about maybe working there. Because I feel like it's very nice and laid back. And I have plenty of experience with baristaing and with animal care. So, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that was, God, I don't even know its name right now. Because it was brand new opening up. Yeah, I don't know what that one was, but that was like a D&D cafe. That one, I think the problem is they had so many people apply. Alright, I'm not seeing. We are about 3/4 of the way through. This map now. But no, I think I would really like working at a cafe. And I mean like an actual, like coffee shop cafe, not something more corporate. Just because I would like the, more laid back vibe of it all. I found another kitty. We have 2 more. Answer. No more kitties. Let's go. Okay, so fun story, right? There was a point in my life when I wanted to be a bartender. More specifically, I wanted to be a mixologist, which is someone who blends and crafts and creates different drinks. I am really good at it. The problem is that I am just very clumsy. And I am not good at talking to people. Like, I know you don't believe me. I know you think I am great at talking to people. But in a real life situation, I have severe anxiety around people. Again, I'm agoraphobic. And it is bad enough to the point that, like, I stammer and stutter and lock up. And being a bartender, a big part of that is, being able to talk to people. Oh, look, balloons. I like balloon. Which is hilarious considering, being allergic to latex. We're just gonna say they're not latex balloons. Alright, we have 2 more to go still. It'd be really nice if we could find them without having to use the hints. Could you imagine if I just find all of them without hints? All while, running my mouth. Love how this cat's just completely passed out on the bench. He's had the time of his life and he just needs a nap. Then over here we're making a sandwich. Are you where the wild sandwich came from? Is that what that is? It's a cat in a basket. And he's snorkeling. It's adorable. I love it so much. Again, I feel like they put a lot of, thought into making this cozy game, nice. Okay. Time to go on our scroll this way. Are you getting ready to, go home now? I feel like it's close to that time for you, that you'd be going home, Matt. Favorite mixed drink. So, I am a really big fan of making, peach rings. Like, I mix peach schnapps with, regular Mountain Dew. And then you add, a little bit of orange in there, and you take some, lemon juice. It's real nice. I make Dirty Shirley's a lot, which is, another kitty. We have one more kitty left. Okay, so Dirty Shirley's are one of my favorite things to make. It is Sprite, cranberry juice, vodka, and a wedge of lemon. And also, like, you get some cherries in there, and oh, it's great. Some people use grenadine, but I prefer cranberry juice because I think it just pumps it up a little bit. Are they watching something with ponies? Are they watching ponies? You look like a princess, so you might be watching ponies. No, it's funny we talk about Dirty Shirley's while playing the cat game, because Princess Donut from Dungeon Crawler Carl loves Dirty Shirley's. And I find it adorable. Princess Donut, man, is a whole ass fucking vibe. I have 100% jumped on the Dungeon Crawler Carl craze. Greg got into it first. And he was like, you should really, read the books. I think you'd really like them. And I sat on it. I didn't for a long time. Until he was on book 6. And at the time, there's only 7 books out. And he's like, I really want to talk to you about this book series, but I don't want to spoil it for you because I think you would really like it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try it. I'll see what's up. I instantly fell in love. Like, instantly. It's a lit RPG, and it's like apocalypse comes to the earth in like the weirdest fucking way possible, and you get thrown into a dungeon to literally fight for your right to keep Earth. But it's about this dude and his ex-girlfriend's cat who get thrown into the dungeon together. Yeah, and the cat is such a vibe. She is my fucking spirit animal. It's like, it's funny and heart-wrenching and fucking talk about, you feel like each freaking escalation is, this is it. It can't get higher stakes than this. It can't get crazier than this. No, it can and it will. And I fucking love that. It's great. Yeah, so I definitely recommend reading or listening to the audiobook or listening to the audio drama for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Because they put so much time and work into it, and it is really a fucking great ride. And it's like become such a big thing that they have their own, they have a show coming out. But they also have like an RPG coming out. So you could play the game as, like, you can build your own character to go into the dungeon with. And I think that's pretty cool. Then, the show is coming out. It's been, like, greenlit and stuff, and they're gonna be working on that. And I'm very curious to see how that's gonna go, because it's gonna be live action. And I'm not sure how it's gonna translate into live action, you know? Because it's one of those things that, like, it's got a lot of fluidity to it. It's got a lot of, monster, yeah, definitely something I would love to, like, play with y'all. Cause it's a lot like, D&D, Matt. So it's not like a single person type of game or a, video game. Okay, so we have one more cat, and I've not seen it. I'm just gonna do a final, like, over peek and see if I can spy it. And then we will use our hint. No, I've actually really enjoyed getting to play this. Because it's like, it gives you a chance to both, like, focus, but also you can unplug at the same time. So my brain isn't, like, constantly moving or thinking about all of the things that I have to do or all of the things that bother me. No, I'm just looking for cats on a map in a game that was made for a good cause. And I think that's pretty neat. Hey, look at that, our ad break is finishing now. Why do I feel like this final cat that I am struggling to find is gonna be in a super obvious spot? And, like, arguably should have been one of the first cats that I spied. I'm gonna be feeling real silly for not having found it on my own. Okay, we've looked at the whole map. And we have not found this final cat. So, I guess that means it is time for a hint. Look at that. Oh, coming back at night. Thank you for playing. Life in the streets is really hard for stray cats. It's not their fault that they're on the streets. Many of them are feral or were abandoned and have to fend for themselves. It is up to humans to be their voice. Please consider buying the DLC for this game. By purchasing Cozy Cat's Nightlights, you will be helping cats in real life cause. Net proceeds from the game, sales less local sales tax, less Steam percentage, will permanently be directed to life-saving programs for animals. With your help, we will be able to contribute even more to helpless cats. Loves and purrs, the dev cats and traveling cats. Again, made for a really nice cause. We've done this one. Next time, we will do our DLC, because the DLC is really pretty from what I've seen. And thank you all just for, hanging out with me and getting to relax.